Good afternoon, good day, everyone, wherever you are. It is officially hump day, finally. Just a few more days to go until Friday, so that's always good. Anyway, I got a good narrative for all of y'all. Something that always has boggled my mind is when Disney took over Lucasfilm, they made a lot of things non-canon anymore. Some things came back, like the Clone Wars, but one thing that they never revised as canon again, as far as I'm concerned, is like The Force Unleashed. These video games that came out in 2008. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how things would go down if, in my opinion, of course, how things would go down if the events in The Force Unleashed were actually canon, and if Starkiller, aka Galen Merrick, was canon. And this is what I think would happen. Okay, so to start things out, if they made Galen Merrick canon, if Disney made Galen Merrick Starkiller canon, first of all, the fan base would be very hype. There would be a lot of hype if they made Starkiller canon, depending on how they wrote him. Now, I think to do Starkiller right, you have to go off the Force Unleashed video game series to do him right. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. So, I think if Starkiller was canon, there are so many things they could do if Starkiller was canon. They could literally have him in episode 7. What I would have liked to see is, if they kept Starkiller canon, what I would have liked to see is have him be like one of the people that helps guide Rey through her journey when she's, training to be a Force user like Luke and Anakin, right? I think the sequel trilogies could have been a lot more interesting had Disney not decanonized Starkiller. I think if you keep Starkiller canon, you can have it to where he guides the generation after Anakin's passing. Like, let's say like after Return of the Jedi, Starkiller, let's say episode 7, right? I would have loved it if they kept Starkiller canon. And come episode 7, we see Galen, right? We see Galen training a new generation of Jedi with Luke. Maybe Luke is like the Grandmaster of the Order. Like, maybe Luke is like the Grandmaster, and then Galen Merrick, it could be like the Master of the Order. So you have Luke, who's over the whole council, and then under him would be like Galen Merrick. I think that would have been an interesting scenario. And when we look at Starkiller, his views are kind of like Qui-Gon's views, where attachments are allowed and emotions are allowed. You see it a lot in The Force Unleashed, where he acts on emotion, but he also doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. If you see in The Force Unleashed, yes, Starkiller has anger and he falls in love with Juno, but he doesn't let his anger get the better of him. So he's kind of like Qui-Gon in that sense. So while Luke is in charge of administrating Padawans into the Order, Galen could be essentially. I think Galen could be essentially in charge of training the next generation. However, unfortunately, there's no word of Disney canonizing The Force Unleashed anytime soon. As far as I know, Disney still deems the Force Unleashed games as non-canon, so that's why we don't have a Force Unleashed 3. That's why there's no Force Unleashed 3. I mean, there potentially could have been a Force Unleashed 3, but unfortunately, until Disney decides to canonize it again, which at this point they probably won't canonize it at all, but unless they do, we probably won't see a Force Unleashed 3. So, it's sad, but it is how it is. Anyway, guys, that's my theory of what if Disney decided to make the Force Unleashed games canon again. That's my theory on what would happen. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys later.